All right, everyone, let's get started. Hello, everybody. My name's Krusty Mustard, and I am joined today with Mr. Hound00med.
Hello.
Hey, there he is. I was wondering for a second.
Worry.
There was like a delay. I was like, he flaked out.
You're all good. It's fine. I'm here.
Last second, he's just like, nah, I'm out. I'm out, dude. Welcome, you guys, to the first episode of PokéTalk. So, I've kind of kept this secret for a really long time. Basically, what this is it's going to be a probably bi-weekly podcast style talk show type thing, where we talk about what's going on in Pokemon. Do you like that thing?
Yeah. You nailed it. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Yes. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. We're basically gonna be talking about what's new and happening in Pokemon. So yeah. So you guys know me, obviously, because my channel. But I mean, if you didn't know me and you came here, then I'd be a little worried. But we also have Mr. Hound00med, or Sean, or Hound00med, either way.
Either works.
He does Pokemans too. He's really good.
I do. Funny enough.
He's really good at the Pokemans. He runs into them over and over, and waits until they look different.
Man, you really sell it, don't you?
Yes, I am the best. Also, I'm going to here. Let's see. We're gonna add a command. We're gonna do guest. Today's guest is Hound00med. Wait, I gotta put the zeros in there. Hound00med. Check out his cast at twitch.tv/Hound00med. There we go. Boom! There we go. We got a guest command now. This is beautiful.
I would agree. It is.
It's beautiful. Well done. Well done, guest command. Alright, so, yeah, basically, we're going to be doing a Pokemon-themed talk show, hopefully every other week or so. So, yeah. Also, if you guys could tweet out the stream, that would help quite a bit. Also, thanks for the follow, whoever that was. I couldn't see it. It was a little small on the screen. But thank you very much for the follow as well. So, let's get to it. Are you guys ready for this? Ready for this? Bam! Look at that. Look at that screen. It is ready to go. Are you ready for this? Are you guys ready?
Ready for this.
Ready for this. Hold on to your butts. Ba-ba! PokéTalk! Woo! I even put some middle school animation on that one. That was beautiful. I loved it.
Wait, I'm totally waiting for it.
Yeah, you got delay. Anyway.
Oh wow! Check that out.
Did you see that? You like that?
I did. I saw it. I like it.
That's actually something that one of my good friends, Aurora, made for me. She actually made that this afternoon, which is amazing because it looks great and I love it. So that's I love that so much. It's so awesome. But yeah, that's our logo. Like it.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Can we just take a second to soak in the chat-hot on there, because
exactly
it chatters, and so do we.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was. But,
you can't escape it.
that was a really bad pun. But anyway, so basically the format of these shows are gonna go, basically, we're going to talk about some of the news that's going on in the Pokemon world, some of the stuff that's been happening or is going to happen soon, stuff like that. Then we'll move on to talking about a competitive build for a Pokemon. We'll pick one behind the scenes. I picked the first one because I did the PowerPoint, so shush. But maybe next time when we have a guest, or maybe if I have a co-host, I don't know. I haven't thought this out. All right, I made a PowerPoint and I did research. All right, that's
a PowerPoint. He is prepared for this.
PowerPoint, man. You cannot tell me that having a PowerPoint does not make you 1,000% more prepared. That is like...
It does. It automatically does.
That is the definition of preparedness, is PowerPoint.
Exactly. So you're ready, you're there, you're presenting, you're good.
Yeah, I even got fade effects in here. It's awesome.
Wow.
I didn't use the middle school like whip in effect.
No, the fades are much more professional.
I thought about it. I should have. I should have just done whip effects and diamond dissolve. Anyway, we have a couple topics that we're going to be talking about today. First of which is actually in the trading card game. Now, I'm not big into the trading card game. I actually, I don't play it at all.
I don't know anything about it, but...
Well, then we are on the same page. But there's apparently something really big going on in the trading card game. And that is something that, drew my attention to it. It's this right here. I don't know how to say this guy's name. He's the villain from the X and Y games. I think his name is Lysandra.
Lysander, isn't it?
Is it
Lysander?
Yeah. Lysander's trump card was banned. And this is significant because it's actually the first Pokemon card ever to be banned from competition. That's pretty significant. The effect of it is each player shuffles all cards in their discard pile into their deck, except for this card. And I'm assuming you can have more than one in your deck, so when you use it in conjunction, basically you get an infinite deck. Which is a problem, because especially for high-level competition where the matches are timed, and when you eliminate the win condition of running out of cards, I could see where that would be a problem. But it's not just the card being banned that created a splash. It's this. This is the explanation that Pokemon officially gave for the ban. They said it eliminates one of the victory conditions, it allows repeated use of powerful trainer cards, allows drawing through your deck quickly with minimal repercussions, and it extends the time of battles. But they only banned it this year, anyway, of the big competitions this year. They only banned it in Nationals. They didn't ban it in Worlds, and Regionals have already happened. So they banned it in one specific portion of the trading card game, I don't know, tournaments. Which is weird to me. I mean, that's kind of an odd way of applying it. Also, they didn't apply it to national championships in Japan either, which seems like a really weird application of the ban, you know what I mean? Like, that...
Yeah, exactly.
It seems almost unfair. Like, I know that Shiny Professor's son, Michael, he actually does play the trading card game, and he used this card. And now he's being told in Nationals he can't use this, but if he goes to Worlds, he can use it. Which is kind of a weird... it's a weird distribution of the ban itself. And that's what drew me to the story, is like, I heard a lot of things from people saying, this card was banned, it's the first Pokemon card ever banned. And that's saying something. I mean, cards have been around since, what, 1995, 96? So...
Yeah, exactly.
Nearly 20 years, and this is the first card ban. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, it also says all sanctioned tournaments will be affected, except for except for Worlds and except for Nationals in Japan, which isn't all sanctioned tournaments. I think that those big exclusions are not all sanctioned tournaments, but apparently we're just gonna run with it. I don't know. I haven't played the training card. Training card. The trading
card game.
I haven't played the trading card game since like 97, 98. So
yeah,
it's been
I don't
quite
think
a
I've
while.
played it since. I don't think I've played it since 2000, which is. I mean, I think we did it with base set, so.
Oh wow.
Definitely taking it back.
Yeah, like I think the last time I made like an official deck, I had a Blastoise base set Blastoise in it. So it was it was a little long ago. So I'm not very up on the whole trading card game thing, but it is a really interesting thing to take a look at in just, you know, how they applied the ban and how it's kind of exclusionary for certain countries, and I don't know, it's just weird. Across the board, it's weird. That's all I can say, it's weird. So, yeah, I mean, did you have any thoughts on this before we move on, or?
Well, I don't know, it just seems really strange, because, I mean, it always seems really weird to me that they must have some sort of like thought process about why they would introduce a card, a Pokemon, whatever, into a game, and then suddenly go, oh, you're too OP for this, gone, banned. It's like, in VGC they ban certain event Pokemon because they're too overpowered. You know, they've got Mega Rayquaza, which is banned from everything in Smogon. Like, they must have some sort of thought process about what might be too powerful. So it seems pointless to me that they would make a card that they're then going to go and ban. It just seems pointless to me.
It almost seems like, because I didn't get that much into the Pokemon card game, but I, for a very long time, was very huge into Magic the Gathering, and they ban cards left and right all the time because there's so many cards and there's so many effects that interact with each other that they just don't prepare for. So they'll go, okay, look, this whole deck over here is not allowed in tournament play. And it seems almost like that with this, where they had this thing that, you know, nothing really interacted terribly together, and then they threw this card in thinking, you know, oh, hey, it'll be kind of a throwaway, you know, rare card that people use occasionally, but it ended up being something that people abuse, which is, you know, very common also in the video games, where it's like, I'm trying to think of a Pokemon that really comes to mind, like Mega Lucario. You know, it was like, oh, you get Lucario during the story, it gets a Mega Stone, it's all good, and then everyone starts using Mega Lucario in competitive, and Smogon just, you know, instantly says, that's Uber. That's way too strong for OU, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of what it feels like to me. It feels like it's an oversight, probably, and they just needed to quick correct it to keep people from, you know, abusing it in the tournaments. Although, I'm curious now, like, I'm assuming decks that have this kind of setup with this card, I'm assuming that they kind of like apply it specifically to their deck. So I wonder if you had two trainers with like that kind of deck with these cards, like would they accidentally benefit each other? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would be really weird. I don't know how that applies, or, you know, really where things like that would affect each other, but it'd be kind of interesting to see, because I don't know that much about it, you know, so.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've spent a little bit of time on the trading card game, but neither of us really know that much about it. But this next thing, Mr. Hound00med knows quite a bit about, well...
I don't actually know anything specifically about it, but...
But, bam, look at this! Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon was announced. What? So, full disclosure, I have never really been that big on the Mystery Dungeon series. I played the first one. I think it was just called Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Maybe Red Rescue Team or Blue. I don't know which one.
Yeah. Blue and Red Rescue Team, yeah.
But I played the first one, and it really wasn't my jam. It just made me want to play regular Pokemon. But Mr. Hound00med likes them, apparently. He's played them.
I definitely do. Yeah.
And this new one was announced. They're saying winter 2015. And I don't know, like, I don't know that much about the series. Like, could you give just, like, a brief synopsis of what you kind of do in it? Like, just, I don't know. Give us, like, the base, like, what a Mystery Dungeon game does. Like, what do you do in one?
Well, essentially, the story is very similar to a main series Pokemon game, but there are no humans involved. You're a human who has been transported to the Pokemon world, and then you're there to help out with a task. And so the task will be to essentially save the Pokemon world, with regardless of what game it has been, it's always been the same. So in Red and Blue Rescue Team, you had to save the Pokemon world from getting hit by a meteor, and you had to call upon Rayquaza to destroy the meteor. And then in Gates to Infinity, there was something that was happening that was causing... It meant the world was soon going to end, and you had to go and find what the cause was, and it turns out it was Cure M and blah blah blah. So essentially, all you have to do is that you go through these dungeons to defeat certain enemies, and essentially the world is getting worse, and you and your rescue team have to make it better. And so you'll save people, you'll help people out, you'll defeat enemies, you'll get rewards. And the point of the mystery dungeon bit is that you go through these dungeons, but they work in strange ways. They change every single time you go in there. So they'll have different items, they'll have a different setup, different Pokemon will be available sometimes. So basically, it's a main series Pokemon game, but it's a bit of a different twist, and you're essentially there to save the world. But the story tends to kind of shift slightly between games.
As you would, you save the world. That's all you're really there for in the Pokemon game. Wait, so okay, you said Red Rescue Team, Rayquaza had to break a meteor.
Yeah.
Did they seriously just recycle that into the Delta episode?
Basically.
That's exactly the Delta episode. It's, there's a meteor. We need to get rid of it. Rayquaza!
Yeah, basically. It was essentially a repeat of that, yeah.
So, that aside, so I've heard bad things about the last one. Apparently, what was the last one? Gates of Infinity, or
Gates of Infinity? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
That's kind of the consensus I've heard, where people like I said, I've never been a huge fan of the series just because it makes me want to play regular Pokemon. But this last one, I have never heard anyone say anything good about it. It's always like, I hope that Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, they're not going to ruin it like they did with the last one. And I'm like, oh.
That's exactly my opinion of it, yeah.
Like,
exactly my opinion of it.
It really is just one of those things. I haven't played the last one, so I wouldn't know. Plus, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the series. But, I don't know, I might pick up Super Mystery Dungeon just to... I'm hoping that it's one of those ones that it's kind of a good way to get into the series if you're not into it. X and Y, as much as X and Y was kind of disappointing late game and how there was a lot of really forgettable parts, I liked it a little bit just because it was more accessible than the previous games. Like, you didn't have to have knowledge of Pokemon to get into the new one, you know what I mean? And I'm hoping...
No, yeah.
Super Mystery Dungeon, I'm hoping, is about the same way, where it's, you know, it's easy for people that aren't invested in the series to, you know, just get into it and play around with it, and maybe I'll be a fan after I play this. I don't know, but it is
I mean,
kind of an interesting thing.
The series doesn't suit everyone,
right? It's well,
I
mean, it's a side game. It's very much like Ranger,
essentially.
which I've never understood why people like that game.
I've never played the Ranger series.
All you do with Ranger is you draw circles around Pokemon. I don't get it. Some people love those. They're like, "Oh, those were the best," and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I am hoping that this will be a good game. I'm hoping that this isn't the only Pokemon game announced.
Same, yeah.
Because I would like to see some kind of main series game this year. I'm not holding my breath, but
no, me neither.
This is their 20th anniversary coming up, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah,
you know, it would be kind of disappointing for a non-main series game for their 20th anniversary. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said on stream that I am hoping for the 20th anniversary, I'm hoping that they will do a remake of the first-gen games again. Just because it's the 20th anniversary, and the only games that aren't on the 3DS right now are the first-gen games. But
I'm so sick of them.
I mean, I'm not saying they're the best games or the worst games, but I would like to have them on the DS.
I bowed down to Gen 5 simply for the reason that they were finally not in a game. Like, in Gen 1 to Gen 4, Kanto is in every single game. I'm like, seriously, go away. I don't care anymore. I don't even care anymore. Like,
I didn't
just
even
give
realize
me
that.
something new. And then with that, with what was perfect was that with Unova, everyone complained about it, but they completely wiped the slate clean. They gave us completely new Pokeball,
Forced
no
you to
old
use it
ones
in the new
whatsoever.
Games. Yep.
Yeah,
I love
it's just
that.
amazing.
And then they came with Black and White 2, which was garbage, but that's beside the point.
Yeah. How dare you?
Oh, Black and White 2 were
Black
terrible.
and White 2 were amazing.
Black and
They
White
were
2
amazing
took all
games.
the awesome things about Black and White, and it just went whoosh.
I think most people would probably disagree with you. I think most people didn't like Black and White 1.
I loved Black and White
Black
1,
and White
and
2.
I hated Black and White 2. Because
I liked both, but the only pointless thing for me in Black and White 2 was the point where you are literally in the thick of Team Plasma. They have just frozen Opaloosa City. They've committed major crimes. You get to Humalo City, and Hugh says, "Alright, so we're taking on Team Plasma, but go and fight the gym. It's alright, go fight the gym. And then we'll go out and do other things." I'm like, no. We're doing something else.
Yeah,
as much as I love the water gym in Gen 5, like, I love Marlon, I love the whole gym, but
they froze over this city, and they're committing terrorist acts, but why don't you go fight the gym?
yeah, why not? Go work out. It's all good.
Go relax by the beach. You know, we'll be fine.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Although I have to give you that the water gym there was pretty unique. I like that one quite a bit more.
I loved it.
Water gyms anywhere else. I mean, most of the water gyms are pretty forgettable. Even Misty's gym is really forgettable, even in Gen 1. So
yeah, yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
mainly because you know, you get access to Pikachu really early, and Bulbasaur if you want to go that route. So makes the gyms rather easy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I really like the Mystery Dungeon series, but going back to why Gates Infinity was terrible, essentially, Gates to Infinity feels to me the exact same way that X and Y did. Gates to Infinity compared to Explorers of Time, Darkness, Sky with X and Y and 5th Gen is that they focused entirely on the visuals. They said, okay, we've got a whole new platform to work on. We've got the 3DS. Let's go all out. And they did. The game looks gorgeous. They capitalized on everything. All the Pokemon look incredible. The dungeons themselves look amazing, and I would say the same about X and Y. They look awesome. The whole game looks amazing. They did so well on the visuals. I think they got it over to 3D perfectly. That being said, it means that they missed out on everything else. Lack of Pokemon, lack of decent enough story, lack of aftergame, basically, which turns me off. Like, nah. Like with Explorers of Sky in particular, there was a stunning story. It was amazing. Like, it kept you gripped in all the time. You were always doing something towards the story, and then you had a really, really difficult fight at the end. And then as soon as you completed the aftergame, you essentially had another part of the story which was almost as long as the main story. So it was about a 50-hour game compared to Gates to Infinity, which was maybe 15 to 20 at best. And even then, it was like pretty terrible. It had no aftergame. And Explorers of Sky had the 50 hours and then also had other stuff as well. And the 50 hours was not even including whether you died or anything. Like... It was really, really difficult games that really made you work to get through, and all the Pokemon were amazing. The dungeons looked great. They did really well with it, and they took a massive step back with Gates, which is why I'm hoping that with this Super Mystery Dungeon, they actually concentrate for it. Yeah, they need to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like around the Gen 5 time, they were making the games more difficult. They were making them more fun, honestly. I had a ton of fun with Gen 5. Not so much with the remake games, just because it was like, I don't know, they kind of went back to the cartoony, villainy thing that was in the previous gens that I didn't like. Plus, they gave you access to old Pokemon again. Like, you could get a Riolu really early in the game, evolve it just by walking around for a little bit, and then you're just blazing through the game with Lucario, which I thought was a little broken.
Yeah.
I really liked in the originals where it was like, oh, you have to use these new Pokemon. If you don't like it, sucks. Do it anyway, because we said so. And it was like, it's cool. I still remember some of the Pokemon versus, you know, X and Y, where it's like, oh, hey, I can get Caterpie really early and get a Butterfree. That's cool. I'm going to use Butterfree because I know it's okay. You know, like,
the one thing I did,
stuff like that.
The one thing I did specifically like a Black and White 1, though, is that they didn't completely restrict you like they did with Fire Red and Leaf Green. Like they said, these are the only Pokemon that you're going to be able to get during the game, but if you trade, it's fine.
Yeah,
I always thought that was a really stupid feature of
Fire Red and Leaf Green was weird for me, just because it was like, I know all these other Pokemon exist. I'm not stupid, you know? Like, I played Johto games and I played the Hoenn games, and it's like, I know all these other Pokemon exist, but you're just, like, pretending they don't. And that's, you know, that was really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you got access to new type moves and stuff, but it was still, it was weird. I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, it was weird.
We totally got off track, but that's not bad. It's all right.
Hey, it's fine. It's fine.
So, while we're talking about the main series games, oh, you like that transition? That was a transition right there.
Smooth.
While we're talking about the main series games, there is an event coming up. Oh wait, I actually have screenshots for the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I forgot about that. There are a couple release screenshots, and it looks pretty good, I gotta say.
I haven't seen any of these.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really nice. A lot better than I remember it looking, just because I played the first one, so it obviously wasn't the best. But yeah, it looks really good. I'm assuming that's probably pretty similar to the previous one, but...
It looks very similar to Gates of Infinity, yeah.
So
it looks a lot smoother, a lot sharper.
It looks really, really nice. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I think I probably will pick this one up and see whether or not it's okay. So anyway, back to my original transition, which I messed up by forgetting about those. Oh yeah, it was. So there is a competition going on the Global Link right about now. The International Challenge June 2015. which is a VGC tournament. I am not that big on VGC, but I know a lot of people are because it's a very popular format. And part of the reason I want to do this show is to bring awareness to you guys about upcoming events on the Global Link, stuff like that. So the International Challenge in June is basically you get Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, if you don't already. Hopefully you have them. You play VGC-based play. The only Pokemon that are banned are ones that are banned in VGC, and you try to beat as many people as you can. That's basically it. But the top 256 players in each age division get championship points, which go towards like your chances of getting an invitation to Worlds. So if you're into VGC competitions, this is the one to enter. This one will, as I said, give you a chance to get into Worlds if you get a top spot. Now, I have all the information for it here. This is just kind of the blurb about it on the site. I also did copy over all the rules and regulations because the sign-up starts June 19th at 0 UTC, which is a time code standard, which I had no idea what it was until I did the Little Cup tournament. I was like, what the heck is UTC?
It's GMT, isn't it?
I don't know if it's specifically GMT.
UTC is London, isn't it?
Might be. From what I read up on it, it's apparently a universal time code. Just, you know, it's supposed to separate out from time zones, so it might be
time zones, yeah,
equal to GMT, but I'm not sure, honestly. But
I'm not sure either.
The sign-up period is, let's see, the 19th to the 25th. So it's 7 days. You have 7 days to sign up. The competition starts 1 day after, actually 1 minute after the sign-up ends. So you have from Friday, June 26th until Sunday, June 28th to battle as many people as you can. There's a 50,000 person limit on the thing. I don't think that will be a problem. I hope not. Because that would be a little weird. That'd be a huge competition. Jeez. I don't know. I don't know how many people play VGC, I guess.
I don't know. I don't really know anything about VGC, so I wouldn't know. I've never really been into the championships or anything.
I really just know it's doubles.
Yeah, that's essentially all I know, frankly.
I mean, it's doubles, and then like you can basically see pretty much anybody on Twitch playing it except me. So
yeah, you'll never see me playing VGC ever.
I see so many people like swapping between Smogon and VGC, and that it throws me off. It's like how, what, why? But
yeah.
So it looks like 2 different age divisions. One for if you're born 2000 or later, one if you're born 1999 or earlier, and then the junior division players are limited to playing between 6 a.m. and 11 p.m. based on the easternmost time zone in each player's country.
Really?
That's a little weird, dude. You can
very
only use...
weird.
That throws me off. It's like you can participate, but only during the day. You gotta go
What
to bed.
difference does it make? Really?
Oh, it makes all the difference because they don't want to be responsible for parents calling them up and being like, yeah, my kid didn't go to school yesterday, but yeah, whatever.
Well, better control of your kid then. Frankly.
You would think, but I'm sure they just don't want the calls. I wouldn't either, honestly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to deal with it, but so Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire are the games that you can use, and then basically, the competition rules, all they say is it's double battles. You can't use legendaries or event Pokemon. You can only use stuff that was made in this generation or the 3rd generation remakes. You're not allowed to import Pokemon from Gen 5 and use them. You can use 4 to 6 Pokemon I would recommend 6, because then you have some choices. If you're only doing 4, you're going to get wrecked, because they're going to be able to know which ones you're going to send
That
out.
seems weird. Like, what's the point of that? What's the point of saying 4 to 6?
Well, because
either say 4 or say 6.
Well, 4 is the minimum. So, like, if you wanted to, if you were really confident in your VGC team, you could have 4 Pokemon, just 4 Pokemon. But if you want to be logical, you'll make 6 Pokemon so you can switch out and adjust to their team as well. But I don't know.
Logical is the correct word.
Well, because when I did the Little Cup competition, I met a couple people that only had 3, and I'm like, really? That sounds kind of dumb. You should probably diversify your portfolio there a little bit, buddy. But yeah, you could do 4 if you want, but I would probably recommend 6. And then everything will be locked to level 50, regardless if it's level 1 or level 100. It'll be locked at 50. You can only use 4 Pokemon during the match. You can't register 2 of the same Pokemon. They can't hold 2 of the same item. Can't use Soul Dew. I don't think they've ever allowed Soul Dew in a competition. I think it makes Latios and Latios
like,
just too powerful.
Why bother even implementing that into the game? Like,
right?
They got Megas, let that be
Get
it.
rid of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if you could get Mega Latios with Soul Dew on top of it. That would be
oh god, that'd be way too broken.
Well, I mean, they made Mega Rayquaza, so
well, it's essentially it's essentially Mega Rayquaza, Mega Latias with extra items. So it's essentially Mega Rayquaza with an item as well. Like, just anything goes, gone.
Pretty much. I mean, whenever you make a Mega that doesn't have to hold something to go Mega, it's so much more broken than, you know. I mean, that's why Rayquaza's completely banned from Smogon Tears, is because it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. Throwing a Life Orb on something with 180-ish base attack, I think. Like, is way too much. But anyway, where was I? Soul Dew. Okay. Each match is 15 minutes. If time expires, then it does some weird algorithm and says, this guy wins. You have 90 seconds to move, or to select your Pokemon, 45 seconds to select a move, and you can battle 10 times per day. So I think that's a max of 30 during the competition. So probably a good idea just to get your ranking up if you battle more. Obviously, I think that's how it goes. And then that's really about it. I mean, they do have the little clause in there, so we can change the rules if something comes up, but they pretty rarely use that. They're pretty upfront with the rules. So yeah, I mean, that's the rules, and then you get championship points, and then really the only things required is the Trainer Club membership and internet connection, Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire. You have to have your birth date right, or they will ban you from everything. And then championship points, you need a player ID in Play Pokemon program. So yeah, that's about the thing. So if you want to sign up for, let me back up here. If you want to sign up starts June 19th at 0 UTC. So that's about 7 o'clock my time, I think. So actually in about 45 minutes on June 19th, that's when it would start, or June 18th technically for me. But there you go. That's what's going on with the competitions right now. I think that's it for that. So now we get to have some fun. Now I get to show you a competitive Pokemon. And if you've watched my stream before, you know that I am rather impartial to RU and NU Pokemon, rarely used and never used Pokemon from Smogon. And one of them that I use quite frequently is Corsola! Yay! So we're going to run through Corsola, give you some builds that you could try out and see what comes up. Now, Hound00med was telling me before before we started streaming that he has never really messed with Corsola before, and my job right now is going to be trying to convince him to build a Corsola for his team.
Good luck with that.
You should do it. Just do it. Look,
we'll see how this goes.
Look at this right now. Like you're seeing this. You also got the screenshots in the document there.
Yeah, yeah.
First screen here. Look at those abilities. Hustle, Natural Cure, and Regenerator. 2 of them you can switch out to either get rid of Toxic or Paralysis or something, and the other one gives you 1/3 of your health back. Those are amazing abilities. Hustle's but the other 2 are great. Let's see. The rest of this stuff is all like the stats. I mean, it's really good defensively. It's not the best attack-wise, and we'll get to that. Actually, on the screen right here, we'll get to it. The stat distribution. Now, you'll notice... not the best stats. Not the best stats. They're okay.
Can say that again.
Not the best stats. Its HP is pretty low. Attack is relatively low. Defense and special defense are 85 base, which in the low tiers is not bad at all. And actually, you use that to your benefit with all the builds that I'm going to show today. Its attack is 55, so it's on par with its HP. It's not great. Special attack 65, so it's a little bit higher, and then its speed is abysmal. So, you know, you don't have to worry about that. Now, it is weak to Fighting Ground, Grass, and Electric, and the biggest threat to Corsola is Grass type. Because it's 4 times weak to it, and no matter what you have out on the field, if it's 4 times weak to something, it's probably going to get wrecked. That's kind of how it goes. 4 times weak is not great. It's also not immune to anything, which is slightly unfortunate. It would be nice. But it's resistant to Normal type, which is pretty common. Flying type, Poison type, Fire type, 2 times, or 4 times resistant to, and then Ice type as well. So it's pretty good. Plus, the dual Water Rock type actually makes it so Water type doesn't do the 2 times for the rock, and Steel type doesn't do the 2 times for the rock either. So it gives it a little bit of coverage there as well, which is pretty cool. Now, first build I'm going to talk about is the one that I use all the time. It's a dual wall sweeper, is basically what it is. I run mine with Regenerator. Natural Cure is not a bad second. I wouldn't throw Hustle on it because Hustle is like one of the most useless things unless you can get Hone Claws. I run Calm Nature for plus special defense minus attack. Give it Leftovers for some added recovery. Throw everything in HP. Throw 160 in defense and then 96 in special defense for EVs. And then I run Power Gem, Recover, Iron Defense, and Calm Mind. Now, Iron Defense and Calm Mind together are amazing. Especially with Corsola, who has pretty decent base defenses. 3 turns, you can get your defense up to +6, which actually gives it around 600, I believe, defense. And that's amazing. You know, that's really high defense. Plus, if you're up against a defensive or a physical attacking Pokemon, you get your defense up, and then you start using Calm Minds until you're at +6 for that, and then you start smacking everything with Power Gem. Now, I have been criticized before for not running Scald. And I'm here to tell you, the reason I don't run Scald is because Scald gets absorbed by anyone with Storm Drain or Water Absorb. Power Gem does not have anything like that. It's a Rock-type move with, if you use a PP Max, it has 32 uses. So it's got a lot of uses, and it's an 80 base power attack, which is really nice as well. Plus recover. I mean, you throw recover on there. As long as you don't get toxic, you're fine. Now, I didn't just stop there. I actually broke it down to strengths and weaknesses. Like I said, 500 plus in both defenses when it's fully set up. It's around 340 special attack when fully set up. Leftovers plus recover makes it pretty strong as far as endurance goes. Power Gem hits everything for at least resisted damage. It doesn't hit everything super effective, but it will hit it for at least doubly resisted damage. And with 340 special attack, it does quite a bit. Actually, the last time I did viewer battles, we actually used Corsola against the Lucario, and it was fully set up, and I took it out with 3 power gems, I believe. So, doubly resisted.
Bad at all?
That's not bad. And then base defenses just make it a really good switch-in for resisted hits. So if someone... If you see someone come in and you think they're going to use, I don't know, Scald, switching it into Scald is, you know, it's normal damage, but, you know, it's not going to hurt that much because you're pretty defensive. Now, as I said at the beginning, Grass type wrecks Corsola. Even with max defenses on both, if you go in against Superior, you're done. Superior wrecks Corsola. And I have tested this in Gohan's stream. I can live one. I can live one of the stupid grief storms, but when the second one hits, I'm kind of dead. Also,
is that what you call it? Do you call it a grief storm?
He actually calls it grief storm, but I stole it.
That's
actually
perfect.
Like, there's so many different moves. Like I don't call it Dragon Pulse. I call it Dargon Plus, just because I can.
Fair enough.
There was another one too. I mean, there's Grief Storm. Lava Plume is Lava Flume. Just because, I don't know, I like it.
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Lava Flume!
See, I only ever come up... I only just say EQ. You don't get anything special out of me.
It's not Earthquake,
don't get anything special out of me.
Actually,
An
Corsola. Corsola is actually really good at living like one-time super effective hits. When I had him +6 on defense, I had something, I don't remember what it was that came in, but it was something that had a stab Earthquake, and it did like less than a quarter of my health. He's really good at surviving once you get him set up. But there's moves that kind of get rid of setup, like Taunt. Taunt is terrible for Corsola. Toxic in this particular set is terrible. Because even if you set up, you've got like 6 or 7 turns even with recovery before Toxic's just going to take you out. And Roar. I recently learned that Roar is bad. Because all that nice setup goes right out the window. And that's pretty bad. Overall, it's got a weak base special attack. You can't just throw it in and start power gemming things because it's not going to do anything unless it's 4 times weak to it, and then I think the only thing that's really going to be 4 times weak to it is fire flying, so nobody's going to keep a Charizard in against Corsola, I hope. Unless they have Earthquake, in which case, go for it. Anyway, it does completely rely on other Pokemon to get rid of its status effects, so if it does get toxic, you have to get rid of it with Heal Bell on something else. But if you get paralyzed, I found that, whatever, I don't even care. Paralyze me, please. It's got a low base speed anyway, so what are you really going to do? Make me skip a turn? Oh no, my wall can't move. You know, whatever, I don't care. But there's also the last thing where if I'm setting up consistently, the opponent can also set up consistently, and if they have something like Duo Blade, they use Swords Dance 3 times and they start hitting you with Sacred Sword, that's gonna hurt. Or is it Secret Sword? No, it's Sacred Sword. The one that goes through your defenses.
There's both.
Wait,
They
can
both
it learn,
do.
Can it learn both? I think it only learns
Secret Sword is Keldio's, and then while Keldio can also learn Sacred Sword, it's the others that use Sacred Sword.
And Dual Blade gets Sacred Sword too, correct?
Double Blade, yeah.
Because I know I was setting up on one. It used Sword Stance a couple times. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm still defensive. It's not gonna really bug me. And then he hit me with Sacred Sword, and let me tell you, a +6 Dual Blade Sacred Sword versus a Corsola who is super affected by it. He doesn't do so well. Gets kind of wrecked.
No.
Especially when my defense boosts don't count anymore. So that was pretty mean. But so setup is kind of an issue. But that is my first set. That's the one that I use. I also have wanted to try this one. This is a special defensive wall. Still running Regenerator because 1/3 health back is still a little bit better than switching out and getting a status effect cured. Still Calm Nature with leftovers, 252 HP, 252 special defense, and 4 special attack. No investment in defense, it's just a pure special defense wall. It's running pretty much the same thing, except instead of Iron Defense, it's running Refresh, just to get rid of status effects. And Refresh for Corsola, just in and of itself, is actually better than Heal Bell, just because it maxes out at 32 refreshes. That's a lot of refreshing, you know what I mean? You can get rid of Toxic a few times. Or maybe I don't know, maybe it maxes out at 16. I could be wrong on that one. I'll have to look that up later. But you can refresh more than they can Toxic, I know that much. So maybe it is 32, who knows. Anyway, this is a great set because you actually end up with 600 special defense when you're set up, because it's 150 when it's fully invested. 600 is 4 times that when you're fully set up, and that is pretty ridiculous. However, physical type grass type grass type moves don't do you any favors. So Woodhammer from an Abomasnow, you're not gonna enjoy that, dude. You're probably gonna get, wrecked. But you end up with a high special attack. You get to refresh and recover to improve your endurance. And it actually, I did the damage calculation, it survives Leaf Storm from a modest contrary superior with a life orb with at least 45.7% health when you're fully set up. So you can survive at least one, which would give you time to hit it back with a nice power gem. Probably wouldn't kill it, but it's better than nothing, and it still has the same problems as the other one. Taunt is an issue. Toxic's not anymore because you have Refresh, but it still has low base speed, and setup is still a problem. So yeah. And then I came up with this one at work. I'm pretty excited about this set. I might try to build this one soon. It's a cursed physical attacker. Now, if you remember, his stats aren't great in attack. They're actually, the base is 10 lower than the special attack, so it's pretty low attack. But if you throw, I threw Natural Cure as the ability on this one. You could throw a Regenerator. It's the same thing. I run Impish on this one, plus defense minus special attack. Leftovers, 252 HP defense, and 4 in attack. And then I run Head Smash on it, because Corsola can learn Head Smash, which is a crazy attack. It's 150 base power. I think it does have recoil, but you're Corsola and you have Recover, so who cares? Also, Refresh and Curse. Corsola can learn Curse. Now, Head Smash, I did another damage calculation. It does approximately 300 damage to a Pokemon with 100 defense when it's hitting neutrally when it's fully set up. Whoops. So it does a butt ton of damage to anything that's not defensive if it's hitting just neutrally. So it's crazy. And plus on top of that, it has about 600 defense when it's set up. And if you're running a Trick Room team, Curse helps with that because Corsola has, by default, really low speed. You throw Curse on there as well, that makes it even lower, but by the time you get fully set up, Trick Room's going to wear off. And then Recover, Refresh help you survive. Now the problems with this are really based on Head Smash. Head Smash only has 8 max PP, which... 8 moves, if you miss any of those, you're going to have some trouble. Although, I'm pretty sure, I'm not entirely sure on this, but I think Struggle is a physical attack, so I think it would get boosted by +6 attack. I'm not sure on that one. I'll have to look that one up.
I think it is. I think it is.
Because, yeah, I mean, as long as you're hitting things... Well, okay. You still would have an issue, though, because you wouldn't be able to struggle until you got rid of Recover, all your Recovers, all your Refreshes, and all your Curses. That would take a while, and then on top of it, you know, you wouldn't be able to recover again either, so you'd be kind of stuck. Also, Head Smash only has 80% accuracy, which is a problem, because you only have 8 of them, and you have to take out 6 Pokemon if you're trying to sweep a team with them, so 80% accuracy would miss every time for me, 'cause that's how it works.
Yeah,
like just like Focus Miss. Focus Miss always misses for me. It's like I could have 5 base PP on it, and I would miss 4 of them, because that's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's ridiculous. Plus, if you're doing the defensive build, of course, special type grass moves wreck it easily. Taunt is still a problem. Its low speed is made even worse with Curse, so if, you know, Trick Room is not your priority there, I mean, if you would have outsped, like, a Slow King or something, you're not going to outspeed it now. And then the setup time, again, allows your opponent to set up, so... they all have their strengths and weaknesses. Overall, basically, Corsola is a defensive build, but being able to build up its special defense and both attacks gives it some options in battle. And then having Refresh, Recover, plus Regenerator and Natural Cure makes it a very annoying Pokemon for people to deal with. So, yeah. So have I convinced you? Are you going to try Corsola?
A little bit. I did do the damage calc for that second set to see if the Power Gem at +6 would knock out the Superior, and it says 18.8% chance of a one-hit KO. So
ooh, that's not bad. Yeah, I mean,
not bad, but
+6 on almost any Pokemon is, you know, crazy. You can almost sweep anything with.
Well, it does 86% damage, so after Stealth Rock, it's going to do almost. It's pretty much guaranteed to one-hit KO. Too. Well, yeah, true. Actually,
so, yeah. I mean, you're giving up 10% of your health to Life Orb, and then if there was Stealth Rocks, you would be able to sweep up on Superior, and then they would be like, no, not Superior.
Yep, they're done.
Yep,
they're done.
Yep. So, while I have you here, do you have any Pokemon that you tend to use more than other people? Like any... Like, I've used Corsola so much that people call it a gimmick. It's not a gimmick, it's a strategy, but, I don't know, like, it seems like people tend to have, like, their own Pokemon that they like to use. I like to use Corsola. I also like to use Floette, who is a great Eviolite user. Unfortunately, it can't boost its physical defense, which is unfortunate, but, I don't know, do you have any Pokemon that you like to use that other people don't?
Well, I don't know. There are Pokemon. Yeah, I don't know. There are Pokemon that I use quite often, which which just don't get used in the higher tiers, which I use quite often. One particular Pokemon that I absolutely adore using in OU is Cradily. Cradily is, in my opinion, one of the best mixed walls in OU if you pair it with T-Tar. It is surprisingly bulky, and it craps all over any water type ever, because it's like, oh, you want to scold me? No, you're going to give me +1 and I'm going to hit you with a Giga Drain and it's going to knock you out. Goodbye. And then I can set up my Stealth Rocks, I can recover, and then I can roar you away. I think it learns Roar, or I might just Toxic it, whichever.
Cradili's actually NU. Wow. I can actually build one of these.
I used to use it in Gen 5 a lot, and while in Gen 6 it slipped slightly because of Perma-Weather being gone, it is still amazing, and any Pokemon that it struggles with, such as Ice types, T-Tar can deal with a Swift Pursuit or a Rock type move of some description. So it's a great Pokemon that's really underrated, and I quite often use it quite a lot. I tend to run a straight set with Giga Drain, Stealth Rock, Recover, and Toxic. Although if I don't need to run the Toxic, I'll sometimes run maybe Hidden Power Fire, maybe Ancient Power, and it works really well. It's a really underrated Pokemon, and it really frustrated people particularly in Gen 5, because everyone and their mother used to run bloody rain teams, and so if you were one of the very few people who used to use the Santine, and they'd brought their Politoed, their Rotom Wash, their whatever, then Storm Drain all over the place, Giga Drain it all off, and then you're done. It used to annoy everyone.
With the prevalence of like Scald, like I could see where this would just be a huge boon. I'm actually surprised I have not seen this Pokemon, or I have not used this Pokemon yet, because it learns 3 of the 4 moves of Corsola that I love. It learns Amnesia, it learns Curse, and it learns Recover. So it has a way of bulking both defenses.
It also learns Stockpile as well.
Oh yeah.
You want to give it Stockpile, it also learns that, so...
Wow.
It's a great Pokemon, I love it.
It looks like it has quite a bit of viability. I should actually... Ooh. I might have to look up and see what all you could do with this, because it looks like he's actually... Like, he's slow, just like Corsola. I mean, he's basically Corsola plus. Except he doesn't get the Regenerator ability, which is kind of sucks.
No.
But he does get Suction
Storm
Cups,
Drain does help,
which is nice. Suction Cups prevents you from getting roared out, so you'd be able to set up all over the
Storm
place.
Drain is definitely invaluable, though, against all of the water moves all over the place. Just
Rain teams
Giga Drain it all off. Yeah. Just crap all over Politoed and Rotom Wash. And to be honest, it doesn't really care too much about burns. It cares more about Toxic, and it certainly doesn't care about Thunder Wave. So it's a great mixed wall. If you give it a bold nature, add a tiny bit in special defense, and then get your sand up, and it is a great mixed wall. It maxes out at 376 HP. And if you completely max out its physical defense, it'll max out at 322. And then if you then dump the rest in special defense and then sand up, then you'll be up to 375 in your special defense. So it's a very good mixed wall and quite underrated. So
if
I like
only it had a way of getting rid of Toxic without resting, that would be awesome.
Yeah. If it had
the
Heal Bell
only
or
thing
something,
it's missing.
Great.
Because Toxic is a huge issue for these defensive builds, but I could see where, you know, even if you weren't running Storm Drain, something like Suction Cups against one of those Stealth Rock's Roar Pokemon would give you, you know, +4 special defense. And then, I mean, just set up all over them. And then it's got 107 base special defense, 97 base defense. That's pretty good for a low-tier Pokemon. I like it! You gave me ideas. That's crazy. I was supposed to be convincing you.
You're welcome.
Convinced me to make a Cradily.
Yeah, there you go, exactly.
Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take some questions from people in chat. I said raid call questions, but you don't have to do raid call. You could tweet me at CrustyMustard90, because some jerk stole Krusty Mustard. You could tweet me at CrustyMustard90. We'll probably take, I don't know, let's see. We probably have time for about 3 questions or so, and then we'll wrap up the stream. Actually, you know what? Honestly, if you want to just type a question in chat, I will answer it. Or if you have a question for Mr. Hound00med, he can answer it. Or if you have a question for both of us, we could try to like both answer it, but probably one at a time, because otherwise it's gonna be like,
yeah,
really hard to hear us. I suppose we probably should just type it in chat, honestly. It's probably easier.
Yeah.
And we'll pick a couple out of chat and see what people say. Abba Donson, thank you very much for the host and the raid. Bum 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 ba-dum bum. We're not quite ending yet. We're just trying to get a few questions from chat. If you guys have any questions about, I don't know, anything we've talked about today. We talked about, what did we talk about? We talked about the trading card game ban. We talked about the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, the new one coming out. We talked about the VGC tournament coming up, and then we talked about Corsola. Or any other general Pokemon question. Speedy Jolteon wants to know, what Mega Pokemon would you want? If we could just make one, I'm assuming. Which one, which one would you like, Hound00med?
Tropius.
Ooh, Mega Tropius would be
Forever
cool.
The issue is the ability for me. Not the ability, sorry, the typing, because I could see it as a grass dragon, but I really wouldn't want it to be a grass dragon.
I don't know. There is a grass dragon, is there?
There's Mega Sceptile.
Oh, that's right. Mega Sceptile is... Yep, that's right.
But I don't know. I think that I would like to see a really nice, bulky, offensive Pokemon. Quite similar to Mega Ordino. I think that it would be really cool. It has a fantastic move pool. Really underrated. Yes. It's a Pokemon, and I just wish it was better. Like, it gets Dragon Dance, it gets Swords Dance, it gets Outrage, Harvest, it gets Solar Power, it's got Growth as well if you want to use it on a Sun team. It's got all of this good stuff, and you can't use any of it. It's just annoying.
I would like to see him Mega Evolve into a Grass Fire type Pokemon.
Yeah,
that would be really cool. It would be really cool to go with either Solar Power or Harvest, because... You know, Fire type get the boost from the sun, and then on top of it, if you got Harvest, I mean, that'd make you crazy powerful. It'd be great.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would like that. Tropius would be a cool one. I have always stuck by that I want to see a Mega Dunsparce. I love Dunsparce, but it's so not viable. Like, I wish it was more viable. It's not. It's really not. It's
a very, 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 very poor man's Togekiss.
Yeah, well...
very bad.
Yeah, kind of.
It does Power Flinch. It does Power Flinch quite well, but it doesn't have the stats for it at all.
But it also does get Coil, and Coil is one of my favorite moves. Just because it's getting the attack, defense, and accuracy. Like, it's all really nice. So... Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be bad. I'd like a Mega Dunsparce. It's not, you know.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
I'm not the biggest Mega fan, honestly. Like, I'd rather just see actual evolutions to Pokemon, but...
Same, really, same.
Like, the thing... I don't mind Megas until they switch type mid-battle and they get new immunities. The one that always gets me is Mega Altaria, because I hate that it gets immunity to one of its weaknesses. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's annoying.
It's irritating. because it's like, well, I used, I don't know, Draco Meteor on it, and oh, it Mega Evolves. Now it's not immune, or it's not super affected by Dragon anymore. It's like, well, that's kind of cheap, but yeah. Let's see. Mr. Custard Mustard, what's the Pokemon you hate the most at this point? Talonflame. I hate Talonflame with a passion. Mainly because it gets a free pass by so many people. If Gale Wings was on any other Pokemon, people would throw a hissy fit. But because it's on Talonflame, it's like, well, Gale Wings is fine because it's Talonflame. If you had Mega Sceptile with, I don't know, some ability like Dragon Rush, where it made all Dragon-type moves like +1 priority, people would throw a fit. But Talonflame gets a pass with priority Brave Bird, which is ridiculous to me. And it gets Swords Dance on top of it. Like, really?
Yeah.
And priority Roost. It gets a priority recover move, and nobody cares. And it, like, the common thing I hear is, oh, well, Stealth Rocks. It's like, yeah, but if you get smacked down by a priority Brave Bird before you can Stealth Rock, you know, like, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's the one I hate.
I never have too many problems with Talonflame.
I have, mainly because I'm in the lower tiers all the time. Talonflame is a hard counter for pretty much all of NU. Which is a problem, because it's like, well, what do I do? Unless you use really slow Rock-type Pokemon, and it's like, well, I don't want to use a Rock-type Pokemon. But
the Pokemon that I quite often use to not counter, but kind of check Talonflame is probably the last Pokemon you would think of to counter Talonflame, which is actually Ferrothorn.
I can see that.
If you switch in to a Brave Bird, it's going to take the recoil, and it's going to do a fair amount, even if it's physically defensive. You're going to take Iron Barbs and then even possibly Rocky Helmet damage, so it's going to take at least 18% recoil, plus also the recoil of Brave Bird. And if it switches into the Stealth Rock as well, it's going to be a ton of damage. So I think that it's always an interesting Pokemon to deal with, and I always seem to bloody use Ferrothorn, so Ferrothorn works in strange ways for me when it comes to Talonflame. So long as I can work around the Flare Blitz, then it's fine.
Yeah, Flare Blitz is pretty ridiculous too, but it also does have that crazy recoil, and then on top of it, you still take Iron Barbs, you still take Rocky Helmet.
Yeah.
But if it's one of those things where it goes, oh hey, I'm gonna Roost this turn to get back the damage I just did to myself, then you get the Stealth Rocks up, and it's not gonna enjoy it. It has to switch
Or
out
T-Wave.
Oh yeah, exactly.
T-Wave's also fun, because I run T-Wave on their Ferrothorn, so it's all good.
Yeah, because it doesn't get a priority on that Flare Blitz either, so who cares?
Nope.
Gets priority on Gale Wings, and it might be on Brave Bird, and it might be paralyzed anyway, so who cares?
Yep.
Let's see. Do we have anything on Lapras? Like sets, or like, do I not like
I assume
Lapras?
that's what they meant.
I don't mind Lapras. It's pretty cool.
Sets. Yeah, I like it as a Pokemon, yeah.
It's got a couple viable sets, because it gets access to Dragon Dance, which is weird, because I never really thought of it as a Dragon type. But
It also gets Thunderbolt as well, which I always thought was quite weird.
Oh yeah, it's a weird Pokemon, because it gets access to things you wouldn't consider it getting. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's a weird Pokemon. It weirds me out. I don't like it. Now I don't know. Lapras is very bulky as well, which I usually run bulky sets on my Pokemon because they're fun for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't go full stall. I'm not gonna sit there and be like protect every other turn, because I've never liked that. That's always that's like bad manner to me. But
yeah, it's obnoxious. Yeah.
But I will build defensively and then start wrecking your face. That's kind of what my builds are for. Well, some of them anyway. So I really like that one. Just because of that. And Lapras, I could see fitting that. I think it learns Amnesia. If not, it does learn Calm Mind. I don't know if it learns anything like Iron Defense. But it does learn Recover and Refresh. Or maybe it doesn't learn Refresh, but it does learn Heal Bell. So
It does learn Heal Bell, yeah.
It is viable that way as well. So yeah. Have either of you ever thought about a physical Liepard, not the Stall, Swagger, Prankster, Thunderwave sets? I've never really looked at Liepard that hard, mainly because Swagger is banned in Smogon. Like, across the board, you're not allowed to use Swagger in Smogon tiers. So I haven't really messed with it, but I mean, I definitely wouldn't use Swagger because it's hacksy, and I don't like hacksy stuff like that.
I've never used Liepard like that. I've only ever used it in Gen 5, but I always used to use it as a weather setter in NU.
Oh yeah, probably would be a good
I
one.
used to really enjoy using that.
Because it had
So I used to have
Prankster back then too, right?
U-turn, Thunderwave. Yeah, so I ran Rain Dance or Sunny Day, whichever, and then U-turn, Thunderwave, and Foul Play, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. I used to run something else, but I can't remember what it was.
I ran a move, something. It did a thing.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was a long time. Did a thing, yeah. Did a thing.
Did a thing move. That's my favorite kind of move. But yeah, no, that's,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's a very viable rain setter or sun setter, whichever one.
Yeah.
Since, especially in lower tiers, anything UU and under, you're not allowed to use Drought or Drizzle. So, I mean, it fits perfectly there because you can just set up your Rain first turn or Thunderwave something and then set up Rain or whatever. So, see ya, Benenson! Thank you very much for the raid. And, I don't know, I think actually that is probably gonna wrap up the stream. I don't know. Did you have any final thoughts, Mr. Hound00med?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. I think.
No.
I think we've covered everything.
So before we started streaming, I said that I would give you some time to plug yourself, but he told me very specifically. This is him talking, not me. He said, "I'm terrible at plugging myself."
Yeah.
And that's weird to me.
I don't ever like doing it.
Like,
I hate doing it.
It's not hard. Just be like, I stream over here. This is what I do. I'm from here. I stream this time to this time, and I like Pokemon. That's
Well, I like
know?
Pokemon. I like that. I got that much covered. But yeah, no, okay, fine. Well, I mainly am a shiny hunter, so I'm the complete opposite of Krusty here. Although he does one day of shiny hunter.
Oh, yeah, I do a little bit.
But then, yeah, a little bit, yeah. And then I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Saturday and Sunday. And Sunday, while I do some shiny hunting, it tends to be my my battle day. So I will give stuff away, battle with people, and it will tend to be kind of some sort of structure, but it's mainly mixed tiers. Bring Ubers if you want. Just don't. Like, you just follow sleep clause essentially. But yeah, so Hound00med, twitch.tv/Hound00med. Krusty's plugged me. Woohoo.
Yep, plug.
But yeah, so feel free to watch. People apparently come to see for the accent, so have fun with that. But yeah, it'd be good to see you guys.
He's very accented, as you can tell. I'm not. I'm not. I'm from Wisconsin. I don't have an accent. Although, for some reason, everyone thinks that we talk, like, really strange here in Wisconsin. Like, I think they've been like watching too many shows where they have like people that are really up north Wisconsin, where it's like Canada, Wisconsin. Like that's when people are like, "Oh yeah, I went down to the dude there." Yeah, no, I don't talk like that. I went down to the thing over there, and yeah, no, no, please,
No.
But yes, make sure you guys go check out Mr. Hound00med. He was our guest for the first episode of PokéTalk. So I guess that's really it. This is the first episode. I think we did pretty good. Thank you guys very much for watching.
It's good.
Hopefully we will do the next one in 2 weeks. I will probably ask around, and Hound00med, you're also welcome back if you would like to join me for the next one.
Yeah.
And we'll probably ask around, see if anyone else is interested. So hopefully we'll have a new face or two in the next one. Other than that, I don't know. Any final goodbye words?
Thanks for joining, guys. It's been awesome. It has been good to do this kind of thing, because I've done this kind of thing before. Not on stream or anything, though, but it's been good. It's been good to talk about kind of current events and what have you. So yeah, it's been good.
Ooh, I got a final thing. If you guys see something in like the Pokemon world that you want me to talk about on the show, tweet it at me. Or send me a PM on Twitch. Or, I don't know, I think those are really the best ways to reach me. Tweet me or send me a PM on Twitch. Just say, hey, I saw this story. I'd like you guys to cover it for PokéTalk. So make sure to follow Hound00med, like I said. My name's Krusty Mustard. I'll be live again tomorrow with some battles and building of Pokemon. So, love you guys. Thank you very much for watching. This is Krusty Mustard signing out. Bye! Bye!
Bye!
Bye!